Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collective podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Hi, welcome to TFYLP, episode 629. We are live tonight. It is Thursday, September 18th. I'm Lucas. I'm joined tonight by Anna.
Good evening.
And Christian.
What up?
And Phil.
Oh, hey. Hey. Sorry, I'm just live. I'm live tweeting this.
Oh, well, there you go. Got to get it on all the socials.
Yep. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
on that too.
Well,
I'm actually doing that, but
I'm not actually doing that.
I know. It was some sort of humor joke, but then I'm actually putting this on our Discord.
Oh, there you go.
I could also put it on my Instagram, but I think I have like half a follower, so.
Yeah. I think there's a TFYLP Instagram, but I never actually use it. I think Dron set it up, and I think he uses it every once in a while, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm supposed to be going like full on, like try to do things, but I'm not good at that.
Yeah, me neither. So, anyway, it's been a couple weeks since we last met. So, we're waiting for some news. I guess, did some news happen, Christian?
A little bit of news happened.
Kind of.
A new holiday was declared, Transformers Day.
They have done that before. It's not the first
I
time.
know. Is it always the same date?
I forgot it. Yes, because it has significance. I forgot what the significance was until they mentioned it yesterday.
What was that?
September 17th is the day in 1984 that More Than Meets the Eye Part 1 aired for the first time.
Oh, that's a good choice for Transformers Day, then. It's basically a birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, since they had Transformers Day, they must have had a live stream, right?
They did not. They did have a promotional video, though.
Oh, okay.
And there was another video today. It was 1 minute long, but it's a video.
Yeah. See, this is why I need to be on Instagram, right? Because pretty much, I guess they post this stuff.
If you're not on Instagram looking at Mark's Instagram constantly, then you're missing out on a lot.
I know.
Well, the thing is, like, people repost Mark's Instagram all the time. So if you're not, you'll likely.
Yeah, but they never post his commentary. They just post the images. His commentary is like important stuff. Like he's telling you the design process and who designed it and how they worked on it and what were the challenges and what's his favorite parts or some secrets about it. Like he's really in depth about it.
Yeah, Mark would be a really good academic because he gives so many references. He's like constantly like citing everyone. It's very like, oh, that's exactly what you should do in my field. I don't know about your field, but my field, sure.
Yeah, you're right. He is very academic about it.
He's very academic, which is cool because it'll make it easier to track history as things go forward. You know, there's a lot of blind spots kind of in the design over the years, like what was happening at Hasbro when these toys came out, and we're like, we don't know.
We even got a bit of interesting background from John Warden today about his time at Hasbro. So that was kind of cool to read. Yeah. He was reflecting on Hasbro making the move from Pawtucket to Boston. He was, waxing about how cool the offices were and all the stuff that got designed there and stuff that he was working on. It seems like I didn't know that he had worked on the HasLab Unicron. I didn't know he was still Transformers at that point. So yeah, he did a little bit of work on that too.
And see, that's another part of the design process I think we're a little bit unaware of is how long these things actually take.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think we're aware.
Philippe said they laid off the live stream guy, and that I don't know if that's a joke or not.
No,
we have heard that has happened.
Yeah.
But after that happened, Marvel Legends had a live stream, so Maybe they have someone else doing it just on their team.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think there is some
probably
reality.
should have had one yesterday, and we didn't.
They did. There was a podcast or a YouTube video. I don't know how you want to classify it. The other day from was this Ryan Ting, I believe is the gentleman's name, who was on the Marvel Legends team, who was laid off right before San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes.
And he was sharing insights on that as to some of the process. So I've not watched that video yet, but yeah, that's supposedly another kind of behind the scenes look.
Wait, the behind the scenes look of getting laid off?
No, the behind the scenes look of like toy development at Hasbro.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a number of relatively big things happened yesterday. We saw the new Soundwave. And,
so
you know, if you want to just
Talib
quickly go
mentioned-
through these names.
I was going to say, Talib mentioned
Or
real quick
interrupt me.
I'm sorry. Well, I just wanted to get through because I'm sure there'd be more comments. That Kirk Bozigan had a great take on Hasbro moving. So
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
He is, I believe, one of the dudes who was big with G.I. Joe. There's a couple G.I. Joe figures that are actually like sculpted to look like him.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Probably be an interesting thing to see, someone with a long-standing tie to the company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been in quite a few of the how did this get made and you know, other like toy documentaries that it came out in the last like 10 years or so.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I've watched some of those, but I don't always encode the names super well.
Yeah.
A lot of names fly at you really fast.
To me, he
and
stood
it's
out.
fascinating.
He stood out mainly because of like, okay, you are a dude who I've played with toys that look like you since like I was 8, and so it's just like, oh, you're a real person.
That's nice and weird. I like it.
That is pretty weird.
Yeah, he also mentioned that Ryan was on 3POA. Which podcast is that?
I don't know, but that's the one I was referring to. I couldn't remember the name of it, but that's the one that I was referring to that he was on and talking about some Hasbro behind the scenes stuff.
Cool.
How is Ryan compared to BMAC? Like, is he kind of settled into his role, or
in terms of like being laid off, or in terms of being like on the Marvel Legends team?
Is he like the marketing presence on the Marvel Legends team?
Oh,
I
think
sorry. Yes.
I was thinking
less
Ryan.
Than BMAC is.
Who's the guy? Sorry, who's the Transformers marketing guy?
Nate.
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 Okay, sorry, I got it confused. Never mind.
I mean, I'd say he's good. I mean, he was, you know, very much the MC of the Marvel Legends live streams in terms of just kind of keeping things structured, keeping things organized. You know, he was a pretty mild-mannered dude, but you could tell he did genuinely like the stuff and did have a pretty big fandom. The other marketing guy, you know, a little more like hip-hop New York influence kind of guy, and that at times was just like, I shouldn't say at times, at first was like, oh, come on, man. He was a little too cheesy. And then he kind of toned down the cheesiness, you know, increased a little bit of his genuine fandom and personality, and I grew to like him. And fortunately, he's still on the team as far as I'm aware. But yeah, I mean, the Marvel Legends ones are, I don't know, to me the most entertaining. I shouldn't say that. The second most entertaining. The G.I. Joe ones are by far and above the most entertaining. The Transformers ones can be kind of, I don't know, at least comparatively.
If they don't have Mark on them, I think they're much more boring.
And even Mark, I don't know. I like his insights, especially when he puts them on Instagram. But like when he's talking on there, I don't know, he doesn't do much for me.
That's too bad. I think they put a lot of effort into this run of G.I. Joe, and I think they're really trying to keep that momentum because it has been so wildly successful compared to what they used to have. Transformers, I feel like, has just been like the same level of success for so long now that it almost feels like a brand coasting sometimes. It's like, yeah, we just had a fan vote. We've technically had 2 fan votes this year now, and both of them were very like, you know, it's like kind of being slid into this design they wanted to do for Shockwave. That now that the full news about that Shockwave design is out, it feels so railroaded, right? Because not only did it feel like we were kind of pushed into picking Shockwave, they had already picked a design based on the comics. Right. So for those of you who don't know, it was revealed yesterday that the fan vote for what's it called? Not wear your alt mode, something about your alt mode.
Activate it.
Activate, yes. The fan vote for activate your alt mode resulted in a Shockwave that becomes a humpback well, which is interesting, right? Like it's fun enough, it's different, but it was kind of alluded to in the comic, according to them. So it was. There's a scene where in the new comics, like way back, like over a year ago now, where he's looking listless or longingly, not listlessly, longingly at a humpback well.
But it's one of those things where they were like, oh, we decided on this because he had that comic. Like, that it wasn't like that this was the plan. It was just kind of more like, oh, hey, this happened in the comics. Like, why don't we go ahead? Like, it seems like it'd be a cool design.
The video that Evan put out today did actually show multiple animals they considered him being. Right. Only one was the well. So there is a possibility that it wasn't just like always decided upon, but there's been a fair amount over the years, if you like dig through the fandom, of skepticism for the fan votes, where a lot of the fan votes feel slightly artificial. So I think I'm just probably buying into that. Like maybe it's
right.
It's not healthy to be.
At the announcement of the campaign, Mark was excited about Boat Grimlock.
He was.
I don't know. I think they probably had designs ready for all of them. Or at least half designs ready for most of them. Yeah.
And I think, anyway, so it was revealed. It looks neat. The design to me, and this is just me guessing because they've only shown art, right? Like we're really far away from the figure. They've only shown art of it. I think that it is going to borrow heavily from the Siege design and be a skinny, functional Shockwave that has kibble that lets him be a big well. I think he's going to be another guy with parts. Just the way that he's drawn in the pictures, it looks like he has like a little ship mode that he can fly around in that looks way smaller than the well, unless it really packs up or they just weren't showing the kibble. So I think they're going to kind of do him the same way they did in Siege, which would be a bummer. But just the way he's drawn, like if you look at the arts they put out, it really does kind of suggest that'll be the case. Maybe it won't be, and I like that better, but
I don't know though. Like, would you rather have a Shockwave with like a bunch of crap hanging off of him, or would you rather have? I don't know.
I think for something like this, I want the crap hanging off. I want him to look different.
Yeah,
that's been my biggest disappointment from the design. Is that he looks like
Former.
Right. I want him to be a beast former.
Right.
You know what I think was kind of a disappointment about this? Like, I feel like we could have had something really cool from this, like a Shockwave that turns into a mammoth, right? Like it could have come up to something that would be like a fun homage to other things. Like, I could have really gone for a purple big convoy that turns into a Shockwave.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out and wrap my head around this like Titan announcement as well that they did. Okay. So they announced...
let's go to that. I want to say one.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Say one more thing about this is that Evan said that it will not be a remold of our Sharky friend from recent times. So it's not just going to be Skybite or Gel Shark as an as a remold. It will be a new figure. So that is nice because he does have a little claw thing in the art that made people say, "Oh God, is he just Purple Gal Shark?" You know, like we don't want that, but no, he's not. So that was a good thing to hear. It'll be a new toy. We don't know what size it is, and it'll be out sometime in 2077.
I mean, since it's a humpback whale, I'm sure it'll be Scout class.
More class.
Isn't it just going to be like painful if it's small? Like if they assume it is a deluxe, they're like, "Oh, it's going to be like the Timelines guys, and it's going to be a deluxe." And it's going to be like, "But it's a well."
It's going to be 2 of those slug figures like that came with Unicron. The teeny tiny ones.
Just one robot and one well.
Yeah, one robot, one whale. Yeah.
I mean, and I'm looking at the pictures right now, and you know, I don't know. I think they can really fit this thing together without a lot of parts forming.
I hope they do.
I think to me it looks like the legs become the head and mouth of the humpback whale, and then the arms flip up over his head to become the tail. And then like the backpack kind of swings around to go inside the mouth to be like the cannon is inside the mouth, which I think is a neat little touch. But yeah, I mean, they might have to do like some Ghibli stuff for it or some parts forming, but I don't know. I don't see it being as drastic
as the Siege
in terms of like the Siege Shockwave, how that was.
I am A-okay with kibble. I just am not cool with the an entire figure's worth of plastic has to stick on having to make his other alt mode, right? Like that just wasn't a very cool design. Like
I mean, you could still
the little Shockwave toy was cool, but the chunks were not great.
I really enjoyed that toy.
Yeah,
I enjoy like taking the chunks and making the little not necessarily putting them on him, but they made like a little like skiff that he could ride around on.
Yes.
I thought that was really fun.
Shocklock is the best use of the chunks.
I put it on my movie Grimlock and made Shocklock, and it's fun, and I can never get rid of that movie Grimlock for that reason. I did enjoy the pieces, but I don't think they did much for Shockwave. I think they were fun and amusing, but I think they actually lowered the goodness of Shockwave.
I don't know. I love the spaceship mode too with all the stuff on it. It reminds me of like 90s era like Wing Commander game spaceship kind of stuff. And I liked that. I like that you had like some of that with you had Soundwave as a spaceship. You had the Tetra Jets as the fighters. So there was sort of like this little like world building of Decepticon spacefaring, armada kind of thing going on there that I had fun, that I enjoyed.
It's like back in the 2000s when a lot of our Decepticon ships were starting to look like they came from the Gradius series. And I just love that. That's one of the reasons a lot of those ships, like Gradius ships, and that was really fun for me. So I get it.
I also kind of feel like too that you didn't have to put the kibble on Shockwave. Of course, then he's essentially just a Voyager, but like you could have made a smaller ship out of, or an upside down submarine, as some might say.
Well, yeah, Takara thinks you don't even need the kibble, right? When they did the dramatic capture version, they were like, kibble? What kibble?
Mm-hmm.
He's just a little guy.
Right. Because, it doesn't look like any worse of a ship than the Soundwave ship.
I saw comments today about it, or yesterday, I can't remember which, where people were worried that he would be bigger than Megatron. And I find that that's just kind of like a pointless worry, right? Like, this toy does not need to scale with anything.
Right.
This toy needs to be big and weird because it is a well. Right?
Are they saying? Oh, okay.
Shockwave, but
yeah,
they're saying to scale it with your 86 Megatron, which we don't have an 86 Shockwave, right? So, I get he could fill that niche, but we're gonna get one eventually, and it'll be more. It won't be a well. So.
Well, I think I feel like this is somewhat of a lost opportunity too. That he could have turned into a ship, and then it could have been Hearts of Steel. Shockwave.
But people chose creature, right? Like there was some choosing in there.
There you go.
They wanted a creature, so
I mean, I think it very much could fall into the timelines thing like you're talking about, Anna, and then we do get the Grimlock. We get the Grimlock boat and the Shockwave whale, and that's the 2-pack like they've been doing with those
That's
timelines.
another good point, Phil, is that they don't have to not make the other things they wanted to make. Just because they didn't win the fan vote doesn't mean they have to not make them. So if Mark could convince everyone, hey, putting Grimlock and Shockwave in a 2-pack so they're fighting because they're Nemesis would be cool. Not like you won't buy it, because you will.
Mm-hmm.
I will. I mean, unless they were really terrible. Like, I have made a very strong rule in my life recently. Even if something was a cool design that I thought I was going to like, if it comes out bad, I'm not going to get it. Sometimes you got to draw lines.
Yeah, on paper, I think the Cyber World designs look kind of neat, but in execution, no.
Not so much. So, there was a segue a few minutes ago when we mentioned Hearts of Steel, because Hearts of Steel is steampunk, and steampunk eventually transitions to modern power, and modern power plant, and a power plant became a transformer yesterday as well, which was something that, like, I don't think anyone in our circle really expected, because we're not really tied into the UK super well. Because, you know, to be honest, like, I didn't really know that there was a mall inside of an old power station. I didn't really know that mall had a Transformer store. And now that I do, it's cool.
I expected it when they were like, oh, a new Titan is announced next week. And then they were like, oh, it's not a toy, though. I was like, oh, it's the mall that is going to turn into a robot. Cool.
Yeah, so that is literally what they're doing. Now, it does kind of have some cool stuff around it, right? Like, Christian and I were talking about it yesterday. Like, you know, why does this make any sense? Why is this relevant? Why is this even interesting type of deal? And I was trying to think, like, you know, if it was a landmark that was like something in our lives, you know, I live relatively close to the Mall of America. So if it was some, like, you know, like my mall, or like an IKEA store, you know, a store that I go to that suddenly turns into a transformer, that's kind of neat, especially if that store had historical significance, right? You know, I'm from St. Louis. There's a lot of stores built into old factories and stuff in the city. You take one of those and turn it into a transformer. You take the City Museum or Johnny Brock's or any of those old factories that turn into stores. That would be amazing. That would be super cool. So I can totally see why people in the UK get something cool out of it, right? Like, they get this cool piece of art, they get this cool character that now exists in the world of a landmark that you can go to, that you can visit, that you can hang out at, that now has Transformers art. And it is going to be art, and it is going to be a big fold-out poster. It's the first piece of merch being sold for it, and it's going to be a comic. And it's going to be Simon Furman.
It's got pins. It's got stuff. I think there's a shirt.
Yeah,
I could see them.
There's a bomber jacket coming. Like, it's a whole thing. It's going to be like part of the Transformers identity in that country now, and I think that's pretty cool.
Basically a mascot. They basically made a mascot. Like, it's not technically going to have a toy to scale with what it's just supposed to be. I'm sure it'll have a little statue sooner than later.
Right.
Well,
we are having a fan vote to name it. That is what's happening right now. The options are Turbine Maximus, Powerplex, and Metro Boss. None of which are particularly good. I voted for Powerplex myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's an old power station, so I would think something like that. Like, what's the name of the mall?
It's called Battersea Power Station.
I mean, isn't Battersea just kind of neat? I don't know. Maybe people are getting like cake batter.
Battersea is actually kind of a badass name for a transformer anyway. So that would be a better name. That might be what we all end up calling it anyway.
Just call it Power Station then.
Power.
Well, I could also see them like trying to introduce this now too, to kind of set things up for a Titan in a couple of years, to be like, hey, whoever, like, don't you want to sign, you know, like, make this? I don't know. I guess they don't have like a Target or something in it, so if they somehow had a Target, so then that way they could, you know, have a branded co-branded type of thing, but
yeah, I don't know if they would do it because it is. I don't think the UK is their biggest market by far.
right.
And I think if they were going to try to make a historical building into a transformer to sell, they would do either the Japanese or the US market.
Right.
I think it would be like a Tokyo Tower or Golden Gate Bridge, something that.
Hey, Spanner as the Golden Gate Bridge. I'll buy it.
Or what's the building in San Francisco?
The Transamerica Pyramid?
Yeah, the Transamerica Pyramid. That'd be another one. So I feel like if you're going to do something, it would be West Coast because you just you have a much larger interconnection between Japan and the West Coast.
Gateway Arch.
I don't know. That's what because I'm from St. Louis, so me and my husband were talking about like how in the world could they make the Gateway Arch into a transformer that wasn't the stupidest thing ever? And the answer is,
it would be
let it be the stupidest thing ever. It's perfectly fine. I would still love it.
I want that Empire State Building robot from Big. That's what I want next.
Yeah, that's what I posted the group chat yesterday.
I think when I really started thinking about the Arch Transformer was when I really understood why the Battersea thing is cool. Because if there was an Arch Transformer, I would buy the crap out of that thing, right? Because the Arch has been a part of my life since I was a tiny child, being from the city. So that would be so cool. So I kind of get it, right?
To me, if they made a St. Louis Arch Transformer, it should be sort of like the Zoids crossover, where it's like a triple kind of thing, whereas the St. Louis Arch, a Transformer, and a crossover with Marvel, and it's also Stiltman.
And does it come with some gooey butter cake?
It comes with gooey butter cake for sure.
Okay.
Or some really terrible cheese on a pizza.
Shut up. Don't lie to our listeners. St. Louis style pizza is so superior to other pizza that these people are
just like, we have cheese flavored plastic that we melted onto this pizza. Why is our cancer rate so high?
I do love that Phil comes from the place that can really just rip on the food in St. Louis too. So, because if it was me, like obviously we've had this debate before. I don't really feel like that North Carolina or the Kansas City or whatever are like in that strong of positions to.
Kansas City has no pizza identity, and it's very sad.
Yeah, it does.
I'm very sad there was no pizza identity there. Because then I spent a year in Michigan. And
it has
Detroit style pizza was everywhere. Detroit style pizza is good.
Pizza in Kansas City. So.
Not really.
They've actually opened more places now.
There was no pizza transformer announced. So let's go back to the news.
There was one piece of the Battersea campaign that really disappointed me. Because in all their press announcements, they're like, there's a Blockies advent calendar. And I was like, oh man, Blockies advent calendar. I need that so badly.
Right.
And it is one. But it's a big container with the Battersea Power Station Titan on it, and it's just selections from Defender 1 through 4. Like,
nothing new.
I have Defender 1 through 4, and there's nothing. They have some sort of thing at the end on Christmas Day, but it's not a Blocky.
Wouldn't a Christmas themed set of like Defender repaints just be legit cool?
That's what I want so badly, and that's what I wanted for BotBots too, but I don't have them anymore, so Blockies are the next best thing. Yes, I want holiday-themed Blockies.
Even just in Christmas colors. Like, they wouldn't even have to be remolds specifically. Like, they could just do candy cane colors and red and green.
Defender, Action, whatever, make them. I'll buy them all. I will buy every single one. I love holiday-themed things.
Holiday-themed
Halloween and Christmas. Valentine's Day. Again, we had this discussion with BotBots way, way long ago, but Blockies can do it too.
So I want to make a weird transition here. So last year for my one son for Christmas, I got him a Imagine X advent calendar where it's like DC characters and like Christmas color costumes. And then the reason I bring that up and how that kind of ties in something we just talked about, I had forgotten until looking up the picture of the Big toy. The big skyscraper toy from the movie Big, the Transformer skyscraper. Imagine X made a toy of that. They made a figurine of the big skyscraper as an Imagine X toy.
Oh, did they? I didn't realize that.
Yes. Yeah, I think I saw it like years ago when it kind of came out, and it kind of like snuck by me. There was a few sneaky homages in the Imaginext toy line back in the day. Like they did a Battle Beast even in there.
Nice.
Oh, again, Transformer tie-in.
So yeah, so we had the Battersea stuff, we had the fan vote stuff, and then we had a bunch of semi expected reveals. We knew what was coming. You know, we knew we were going to get a chance to pre-order Arachnid. We knew we were going to have to look at that toy and pretend it was good, because I think there was a lot of hype for that figure, hoping that they would do justice to the design. Oh, when I saw the full pictures yesterday and really took a look at it, I was like, I don't even know if I can buy this. I kind of have to because I'm buying all the girl Transformers, but good golly, you know, it's going to be a hard one for me. I don't think it looks good at all, but
okay.
All right.
The grayscale looked better.
The grayscale looks better. And it's oversimplified. She should have been a more complex figure. She should have been like a leader size figure. Should have been a leader class figure the size of a Voyager that was complex enough to do her stuff. And that would have been cool. But that's not going to happen for a side character, lady character from a movie that didn't do very well.
Have we had a
I mean, the fact that she's getting a toy is surprising.
Have we had a female character at leader scale? Like we've had Titan.
Was Alita 1 in the jet mode? Was that Voyager or Leader?
Voyager.
It was Voyager. Okay.
I think the biggest female characters we have are combiners.
Well, in the
Titan.
Oh,
and the Titan, you're right. Nemesis.
What about Brilliant Yellow, or whatever her name is?
Splendid Yellow Convoy?
Yeah, Splendid.
I mean, technically, but that wasn't a thing until like 20 years after.
It was kind of retconned into even being a thing. So
kinda Tigerhawk?
Mm-mm.
I think Tigerhawk gets profiled as being a man robot.
He presents as a man.
Yeah.
As a male robot.
Kind of so short in the series that doesn't really have any identity other than battle and yelling. And even I can't think of a leader, honestly. Handful of Voyagers, lots of Deluxes. Can't think of a leader. That's a bummer, that's a bummer, but it's just kind of where we are with the toy line and the history of Transformers.
I do need a leader, Alita 1, G1 Alita 1.
That'd be nice.
A leader, Alita 1?
Though?
Yeah. Yep. She turns into a big truck.
Into a big truck. It doesn't make sense in the show because she looks small, but yeah, she turns into a truck.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So does Firestar. Firestar is a pickup. It's like that needs to be a Voyager at least to make that work.
Bigger figure as well. Yeah.
But that's a whole other thing. And
we're going to make her a space limo.
Be on the topic I want to do.
Oh,
make her do a space hop. What?
A space limo.
Space hop. No.
Don't they need a leader striker?
Yeah.
They need a commander striker.
Sure.
They're gonna make
sure.
A commander striker.
As big as you want her to be. She needs to be big. So, not like we have a woman commander either. So we got to fill that niche as well.
Just take the MMC figure and make it Hasbro. Like it could be a retool.
Take the MMC figure, make it available.
Right. It could just be a retool of what's his name that just came out.
Bulkhead.
The Fallen.
The Fallen. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
Megatronus, whatever.
So, but
I would definitely take that as Striker.
Right. That would be my
wrong all mode by a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, so real quickly, in terms of like things we hadn't seen before yesterday, before we jump to the combiner thing, what did everyone think of the new Soundwave?
Bad.
That was going to be the next thing I said.
Yeah,
so
that
the
was
new
the next
Soundwave.
Yep.
was definitely something that I think it was hard to hype yourself for it, but at the same time, you wanted to be hyped for it because Soundwave is one of the most important Transformers characters.
Yeah.
We wanted to be a little bit better because the toy that we had was so close but so far away. So here we are getting a new one. We're promised it's going to be the most accurate Soundwave out of all of them. And here he comes, you know, he's a leader. But good golly, he's basically the same toy again. Like, he's not, but he is at the same time, you know, like there's so much a new experience he is not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks like it's going to be the same experience with a better alt mode. You can't argue. It's a better alt mode. A roughly just as good, but bad in different ways. Good in different ways and bad in different ways in the current robot mode.
Why aren't they able to replicate the proportions of Masterpiece Soundwave? Like, it doesn't have to be as intricate, but they nailed the proportions on that, what, 15 years ago now?
Mm-hmm.
I think
that's not 2010, maybe it was 2012, so 13 years ago. Like, why has that not been the model for Soundwaves going forward? Even that's the right color. Like, this one's not the right color either. I mean, Masterpiece is the best one.
Size. I think they're making him too small.
They make him too small, or they make the cassette piece too big. Yeah, either way, they're out of proportion.
I think he's the wrong size. And this is something I've been saying for a little while with the cassettes, is I honestly think the best way to do cassettes as a collector right now in Generations is just to use the little siege size cassettes only to go in dude's chest. That's the only purpose they have. Get your old Masterpiece cassettes and put them with your Generations figures. Because Generations figures have caught up in complexity to those old Masterpiece figures. They actually look kind of cool with them. Totally fine. Right? Like, cause I just can't, I swear the cassettes keep getting worse somehow.
Yeah,
like those birds are just straight up bad.
They're bad. I think the
Ravage is
bad.
It's at least better than the last one, but that is a very low bar.
It is not better than the last one. I think they're equally bad in different ways. Like, it's definitely not worse.
Like Steeljaw to me, kind of like the same kind of.
That's what I was gonna say. It's a lot more sense besides Steeljaw. Like the old one, when you put it beside Steeljaw, you're like, why is this so goofy proportion, giant legs and hips, and it just looks weird? Where Steeljaw is just like a statue of a quadruped. Now this is a statue of a quadruped with a stick with missiles on its butt.
That's the worst part. And the face.
That's the worst part.
Like, I know the face on the current Ravage is not great, but this one looks very canine. And Ravage is not a dog. Ravage is a cat. So this is really dumb, and I hate it.
This is Dog Ravage.
By far, the best Ravage that they've released in mainline is still the one that was a pack-in with Hound from like
100%,
obviously.
Like that was it. Like,
and I mean, I think why that was such a great toy is it didn't have to go inside a Soundwave.
Yeah,
it could go inside G1 Soundwave, which was neat.
It could go inside a Soundwave. They did make it the right size. It was actually an update of that size, and it was the right thing. And the MP cassettes were the right thing. Like,
you know what, Anna? Can I riff on your Masterpiece cassettes idea?
Please.
What if they released a Soundwave that had cassettes that you could put in it, but they were just cassettes, so it had the right proportions, and they were just the panels that looked like the dudes, and the panels came with the dudes who were better, but didn't turn into the cassettes that could go inside of Soundwave.
Do they turn into cassettes still, or are they just...
I don't know yet, but they at least come with the cassettes that go inside.
What if...
I'm fine with that. Just like I'm fine with the fact that we got Studio Series 86 Megatron that doesn't have an alt mode at all. So...
Right, like I think the cassette dudes would not have an alt mode. Or they do something weird.
A little gun figure, right? They didn't need to transform.
What if they just maybe released one of the Masterpiece cassettes like with Soundwave? Like they literally just released the Masterpiece, the old ones. Like
they released one of the But what if they did one of the Masterpiece cassettes with a sound wave, but that sound wave turns into a G.I. Joe vehicle?
I would riot.
I think that happened. What if? Okay, here's
But they did that, Christian. So start rioting.
I did riot when it happened.
Another
weird
There's
idea.
other
They make
things
a
to write
sound
about
wave
these days.
with nice proportions. They make him a little bit taller, so he actually scales correctly with Megatron. They make him with right proportions where he looks good. He has a chest that has basically fake cassette plates that come out of it. He has, because he has a big chunk of body in his back, he has a space in him that you can fit an MP cassette, which he comes with. You can store it inside of him and put the plate in the front so it looks like he has the right cassette inside of him. And then you pull it out and it's Laserbeak, or I mean, it should be Laserbeak because it's cartoon based. That was his favorite.
Well, in the plate idea, you also get to do the clear window toy thing or the opaque window show version.
That was the
Like
other thing that
you
I
just
really
swap
thought
it
of.
out.
Yesterday's reveal, just looking at it, was like, wait, every single toy they're making, they're calling the Studio Series 86, but his chest isn't really clear in the cartoon.
No.
It's like every once in a while you can kind of see like the turning, but it's just blue all the time.
I think we've just come to the conclusion that the cassettes don't need to go into Soundwave anymore.
They don't have to. Like, it's cool if they can, but let's be honest here. You can have a toy that does that, right? You can own the MP, you can own the G1.
You can own the Siege and the Netflix and the
I feel
Legacy.
Like
all those guys
people
do
would riot if you couldn't put a cassette inside a Soundwave.
Would they though? Because people seem to really love Studio Series 86 Megatron. He does not turn into a gun.
What?
And people seem to be just fine with them. Like people pooped themselves a little bit. They were a little like, oh my god, it's gonna be in a tank. But I think people are just ignoring the tank. So I think people could ignore the incorrect cassette mode for a sound wave as well.
So
I will say, I'm gonna skip this release, and my hope is that this one comes out in Marvel Comics first.
If that happens, I'm in.
Yeah,
it'll be the only version of that.
One. Sure.
Yeah,
I'll do that. That's you got the right idea there. So Talib had mentioned about that there's a tease of a Roboson version. So question on that: will you actually be enticed to get it if it is actually a working like sound system that you can like hook up?
I hadn't thought about that.
I'd certainly be more interested, but at their prices, probably still no. But interesting.
It would probably need to be a crossover with a sound company like Sony,
right? Like Bose.
Like it would probably have to be like an actual good quality product. If it was just like Roboson putting together a cheap radio or whatever out of the electronics they can do, or some cheap speakers, like that's not good enough. But if it was an actual sound company and that made it a good functioning thing where I could have it in my living room as part of my sound bar, and then like every once in a while be like Soundwave transform, and then cause my neighbor who's visiting if a heart attack or something, something fun like that. But whatever.
That would be kind of neat.
It's like, oh my goodness, what? That would be fun. I can enjoy that.
Heart attacks are classically known as being really neat.
Talib says that liters will be $70 when they finally do the Marvel Comics Soundwave. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, for real.
So next year. All right. Yeah.
Right.
I can handle that timeline.
Right. Well, I don't know. BBTS puts that little disclaimer whenever you buy something on there now that says that it's includes the current tariff, but depending on what happens, it could be more. So there you go.
So yeah, only other thing really of note yesterday, a new movie Optimus of some sort. I have paid attention.
Oh no, they announced that several weeks ago.
Right. But it was just one of the things that went for pre-order was a new movie Optimus and
it's
something
not new either.
Whatever.
It's Nemesis Prime, which is basically the same as the other one. It has the red stripe on its face.
Oh yeah,
and
okay,
less
that's what
paint overall than the previous release. So
I really care.
Barricade looked a little better than when we last saw him. That was nice.
Barricade looked a little better.
Still bad, but better.
And then
and his feet look really like I get that's how they did the transformation, but the feet are just kind of like, all right,
Alpha Trion looks pretty cool with his mossy thing.
Yeah,
it kind of bores me.
Yeah. Well,
I think I'm not getting him unless he's on a big sale, but like at least the moss op, or is it a paint op or is it a molding thing or both? I guess it looks neat.
There are cooler Alpha Trion toys in recent years.
some are just hitting the shelves right now.
That one is like, it's fine.
I was expecting we would see Wind Charger with this group, but no.
Because they did that whole, full spin around 360-degree camera thing for Wind Charger, and everybody saw the backs of his legs. And they were just like, no, we're just not going to talk about this anymore. Move him under the rugs. Golly.
DNA Designs is just like, yeah, we got you. We'll have those ready before the toy hits the shelves.
Fix it, yeah. Yeah, that seems like it. Anything else to say about any of that stuff? Any of the new stuff? Because that's a really good segue.
Sure.
Nope, go ahead. Segue away.
DNA's got some work to do with combiners, right? We said we would talk about combiners tonight. So I did
post a topic.
51 minutes in, I said that we said we were going to talk about it, and I decided that I would finally put together my new combiner that I just recently took out of the package. I just recently started playing with, and I got it put together, and I want to show it off for everyone and be like, hey, I just combined this for the first time ever. Ta-da! I just combined it for the first time ever.
Oh, cool.
Oh, there you go.
Combiner.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one, I think.
Coming for it too.
Is there?
And they're doing something different with the sword, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why you need to do anything different with the sword. The sword is such a goofy thing, and it's fine. It is such a goofy thing, and it's fine. It was fun. And this kind of like is a segue into what are modern combiners, right? This one is a complete remake of an existing combiner with some fun quirks to it.
Tell me,
it's
Anna,
pretty much one for one.
I have not opened mine, and I was heavily considering bringing it with me to Chicago. Should I, keep him sealed and ship him off to Chicago, or keep him?
My honest opinion is very similar to what it was 25 years ago with the original set of these two characters, is that the two toys, Super Fire Convoy is a really cool design. It's one of the, first super mode Optimuses that was really neat and posable and, just a fun thing. I love that toy. I love the new one. I love the old one. And I think it's great. The new God Magnus is a lot better than the old one. They are really two cool toys to have. They're going to be in this combined mode long enough for me to do the show tonight, and then they're going to go back to just being the two guys again. If you wanted it for this mode, I don't really think it's worth it for this mode, because this mode is still encumbered by pretty much just how big it is, right? Like, look at those lower legs, right? You're not going to do much with lower legs that thick. It doesn't really move super well. It doesn't really pose super well. It is cool. It's neat, and it's cool that it can do it, but I still think the two toys by themselves are better. I think it is an excellent set. It is really fun. There's so much to do with it. There's the giant sword where you can kind of mess with the parts of it and take it apart, do different things with it. The stand is really neat, the way it's like a street tile that ties into the story of the series. It's a cool thing. I think it's a really great set. However, I have a feeling you have pretty much zero nostalgia for car robots, so... We're watching Car Robots in book club right now, and it's just making me more excited for these figures.
Yeah. Well, shoot. See, there you go. I didn't realize. Maybe I would have went ahead and joined because I haven't seen it yet.
Really?
Like I never watched Car Robots. Yeah.
You should. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm not going to tell you it's good. because it's not really particularly good.
Right.
It's definitely an anime of that era. It's just one of the bazillions of animes in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Right.
But it's
Well, I
fine.
don't know. You
It's
know,
fine.
if I tell my kids that it's an anime, they might actually be willing to watch it.
They might, and it
So,
looks like an anime, so they'll be
yeah,
convinced since it is
there
an
you go.
anime.
Is that
But
on
I will
Tubi
say one
TV?
thing. One thing about this is kind of like, I did this as a joke, sort of. I did actually just randomly decide to put it together a few days ago, finally,
Yeah.
when we were watching TV. The MasterChef finale was really long last night, so I put them together during that time. But there's one thing that is common among new combiners from Hasbro in recent times that was not common in any of their original versions, and that is stability. This is way more stable than the original set of toys was, right? Especially everything to do with the Magnus, right? Everything to do with the Magnus is a bazillion times more stable than the original was. This is stable. I can mess with it. I can fling it around. It doesn't move particularly well, but I mean, it's holding this freaking sword, and this sword is big enough to be a short sword for me, a normal size human adult. So it's actually really impressive how stable it is, and that I think is the big highlight of the new combiners, the stability.
Yep.
You design with the combiner in mind, like as a display piece or as a functional figure, rather than as a thing 5 or 6 other figures can do.
Yes. Yes, they are definitely designed as combiners first and individual figures. I don't think the individual figures sacrifice too much, except
Yeah, that's the cool thing about the era we're in now, is that they don't.
Because if we remember back to way back in the day, 2,000 years ago, when we got Combiner Wars Devastator, and we were all really excited to get a new Devastator and blah, 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 right? The poor robots, right?
The Hasbro ones didn't have elbows. Long Haul is very compromised.
Poor bot mode. His bot mode
Mixmaster
was really bad.
wasn't a cement truck.
He was, but he was backwards.
He was a cement thing.
Yeah, that was weird.
Thingy.
But it ended up being a pretty good combiner. Like, it's a big giant thing, a big giant robot. Yeah, good.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I had to get a fair amount of upgrade kits from DNA in order to make it what I wanted. Like the foot.
I think Predaking was the worst combiner. Like that one was. Those guys are severely compromised to make that happen.
Are you saying as individual bots or as a combiner?
Both.
Both.
I don't
know.
But
mostly the individual bots are pretty bad.
I actually like it as a combiner. I think that as individual bots, it's pretty bad. But as a combiner...
It's good as a combiner.
Yeah.
It doesn't exactly live up to the original design of Predaking, and that was the problem with it. The Devastator lived up to the original design of Devastator. Like, it looks like Devastator, it feels like Devastator. It's just the Constructicons themselves kind of sucked.
I finished completing this one. Right? This is the new one. He's really good. But I'm struggling to figure out what to do with my Unite Warriors one with upgrade kits, because I like that one too. And I think it depends on how you want Devastator to scale with your dudes. And I've been watching a lot of G1 recently, and Devastator scale is all over the place. Like, sometimes he's twice as tall as Megatron. Sometimes he can hold Megatron in his tiny fist. Like, what? How
that's like the same episode.
Are you?
That's probably the same episode.
So
that is a problem with Devastator.
So, like, do I want my Devastator on my shelf to be able to, hurl Dinobots around, or do I want 2 Dinobots to be able to take down Devastator? Who knows?
Well, that's
haven't made the call yet.
I'm almost debating. It's like, how many combiners do I get rid of at this point, right? Because I'm sure that I, like you, probably... I don't have all the Unite Warriors combiners, but I've got several of them, right? I've got repaints, the G2 repaints of combiners, right? I've got the regular combiners. I've got the, stupid ones that they just made up a combiner. But like, I don't know. I almost wonder, should I keep those because that's unique, right? Like what's the Sky Rain, or what's the Optimus one?
Oh,
Optimus Maximus.
Optimus Maximus. Like, I almost wonder,
or Ultra Prime.
Should I almost keep that just because, like, I don't know. It's in the game, the Earth Wars game that I play. So
everything's in there at this point, though. It's been around so long.
Well, that is okay. You make a point. But yeah, I don't know. I think, like, even though I have all those upgrade kits on my Combiner Wars Devastator, I feel like I'm gonna.
See, there's no way you could do this with any of the other combiners.
Yeah, no, that is so cool. Right, like the stability. Like, I feel like they really sit down and engineer these guys.
And I don't have the Devastator. It even has a nice carrying handle for you whenever you want to pick them up and like play with them. So that's cool too.
You know, I don't even think this is that bad. Like, as I was playing with it and combining it and stuff, I was like, do I even need kits for this? Like, yeah, this is here, but like, where is it gonna go?
It doesn't
like
feel
it's a real
bad.
thing that has to exist in the physical world. So like,
I don't think that. So what the DNA kit does is it basically raises up,
extends
his legs,
the legs higher, right? So like the legs are up here instead. And I saw somebody else that they actually took this like smaller piece or this lower piece off. Like you can take this off. Like there's a pin in here, and I guess that they had removed the pin. And then once you do that, you can kind of put it on or take it off. But they preferred it that way. But I don't know. Like, I actually think this is totally fine. Like, and I don't think taking that lower piece out makes it any better. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
like, I actually don't think it's bad at all. And the funny thing is like, because I was sitting here before the show thinking about this of, like, what is the best Devastator? Like, if I could say what's the best Devastator, like from third parties and official and all that, which one do I like the most? And is this like kind of beat all those out? I don't know. Make Toys Giant is still really good. I feel like, but
yeah, different aesthetics.
Yeah. Right.
They finally got the color right on him, which is pretty crazy.
The I was gonna say the Toy World one, or Zeta Toys, or whatever you want to call it. One, I never liked that one just because it was such a pain to transform. Like, I literally got it into combined mode, and then I'm like, okay, all right, I'm done. Never doing that again.
That was me with Hercules. Particularly when I put the Rage kit on it. It's like you couldn't get the shoulders out of that. It's just that forever.
Yeah.
But I really like this one because it is a set of functional guys. Like, they are good Constructicons that look like Constructicons. They look like their animation models. The color is correct. The accessories are correct. And then they combine and they become a really good, stable combiner. Like, what else could I want?
So
I'm even thinking of canceling my DNA orders because, I mean, yeah, the trumpets are cool, but like, I mean, what do I need? Right.
Talib's asking about the articulation. So, I mean, this lower piece does get into... So he has a waist swivel, but the like lower piece does get in the way of it a little bit on there. His arms, like, kind of, go all the way up and whatnot. I mean, you can't look up and down, I guess, right? But he can swivel his head back and forth.
I wish he had like a ball joint for the head. I get why they just did the rotator thing.
Okay. I could see that. He does do. I mean, he does leg stuff.
Yeah, Scrapper kind of doesn't. I don't know. Scrapper can kind of move when you don't want him to move.
I don't have that issue.
You can
maybe I just don't have that tab in very well.
Does, they which one?
Have ankle tilt like everybody else in the line.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah,
that is really neat.
Venusaur has it a little bit, but not like this.
Yeah.
And then the legs, like, it's also nice too, the way they kind of made the legs where it doesn't break the sculpt up like when you do the knees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're kind of filled in. Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of filled in or whatever. So like that's kind of nice too. So and then like they swivel and all that. So like there's a lot more articulation and also it's just like
this combiner acts like a single robot figure.
Yeah,
which is kind of how we started off this topic by saying that's a thing they do now, as opposed to being like an amalgam of 6 dudes. And, the connection points are loose and they'll kind of come apart if you play with it too roughly. This is a unit. This is a single thing that then you can also split up into 6 dudes. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
I would say my main thoughts with Devastator are a couple things. I think there's a little bit of oversimplicity in some of the individual modes, some of the individual figures. It's not terrible, but just I think the same thing with Superion, where again, just a little bit too simplified in the way some of them look. I do think he holds together so much better. I think, when you're posing him with other like Generations toys, he's going to fit in well. I hate that his gun just kind of like can flop around there like that. Like in terms of like he's such a stable toy, except for like his gun, just like but like my whole thing with Devastator, and I think one of the things that in hand he is much better than I think we thought when we started seeing pictures. But I think one of the reasons why when we started seeing pictures we were a little disappointed is A, Combiner Wars is huge, and this guy was so much smaller. And B, Menasor was amazing. And this guy didn't necessarily and Menasor was such a big departure from Combiner Wars. This guy is not as big of a departure from Combiner Wars because aesthetically, the Combiner Wars one isn't bad aesthetically. He's just kind of annoying to move around and play with. So aesthetically, looking at pictures, it didn't do a big upgrade from Combiner Wars, but in hand, he feels like such a better upgrade. So I think again, the combination of the smaller size, the not as big of an upgrade that we had from Combiner Wars Menasor to whatever line that was that Menasor was in for the last one. I think that kind of hurt him in terms of what our anticipations were. But the thing is with low anticipations is then you get them and you're like, okay, this is a really good toy.
Well, like I just feel like he feels really hefty and solid too.
Yeah.
So I like that. And then the other thing again is like I know that Talib's mentioning about DNA fixing a bunch of stuff, or just fixing the hands or whatever. I actually like that's the one thing that again it doesn't bug me that much. The way that the arms are and everything, like they feel like filled in to me. Whereas that was not the case in Combiner Wars at all. No. I had to get a kit for that. Like the hands actually are good too. And that's the thing that's nice about all of these is that they're, really stable. And like, I don't feel the need, like, it's kind of like some of the DNA kits. It's like, well, it's kind of neat, but, I don't feel like I have to get the kits just to like complete the figure essentially.
Yeah, like I got the DNA kit for Dino King here. And I think because this is obviously a very different style combiner. But there was like, this was a combiner that was also trying to be a Volcanicus combiner. So just like, okay, I don't want this to look like Volcanicus. I want this to look like Dino King. And I think the DNA kit does help considerably. But I don't feel any need to get any upgrade kit on this Devastator.
Right.
I feel like the only way you can get more accuracy in the look or more posability and stability would be if you went for one of the 2 Legends ones, if you went for the New Age or the Magic Square. And both of them have the significant weakness that they're absolute monstrosities to put together, right? Neither one is enjoyable to transform, right? Like that's the problem with both of them is they're not fun to transform. They're not enjoyable in that way. They look really good and they're more stable because they're smaller, and they're really impressive. But I think that one is probably the next place, right? Like I'm not really a big fan of Masterpiece combiners because they're so big. It's really hard for them to be stable. It's not the designer's fault either. At that point, it's just like mass starts to mess with you there. Like you're just dealing with the laws of gravity at that point.
Stupid physics.
Well, and that's the thing, and I don't know. I know, like, I haven't really messed with the MMC combiners that much. They may be the like closest ones as far as actually being fun, but like that's the one thing I do feel about these is that I can take these apart, I can transform them, I can put them back together, and it's not going to be a chore that it's like an entire day to do it, and it's going to hurt my hands and whatever. And so that's the thing where I just feel like when I say a statement like, oh, is this the best combiner, like for me, that's part of it, right? Is like it looks the part, it's super stable, it like goes with 1,000 other figures that I have, but it's not just going to be a shelf queen where it's sitting down there and I'm never going to play with it ever again. That when I'm done, like that, and again, the Devastator behind me, like honestly has pretty much been that way where I put it together and it's been standing there for 10 years or whatever it is. So
I do want to remind everyone that if you want another Devastator that's more posable, right? The Blockies kit is now in the US, so you can get it. You can finally put together your Blockies Devastator and get yourself a nice small posable one if you want one that you can just hold in your hands and play with.
It is a combiner.
It's a combiner. Doesn't hurt to have 2 Devastators in your life.
I like the Studio Series.
You only have 2?
So much that I would like to buy, I think, 3 more colorways of it. Because I'd like a yellow one that could be G2 or Tonkinator. I'm more of a Tonkinator friend at this point than G2 yellow. But I do want G2 orange. I do want Shadow Glass. And I'd probably buy a Diaclone one too.
Christian, I'm sorry. When you say Studio Series Devastator, which Studio Series Devastator are you referring to?
You know what? If they do the movie one in Shadow Glass colors or something, sure, I'm in. No, the one we've been talking about this whole time.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just being a dork.
I know.
But
yeah, I'd buy
kind
it.
of a tragedy of current Hasbro is how many years ago at this point did they finish Minosaur?
Which Minosaur?
3?
I think it's 3.
Still have not finished the G2 Minosaur, right? They haven't touched G2 anything else for the combiners. They haven't touched any other combiner repaints since they did the Minosaur.
We made more progress just 9 months ago. Because we got G2 Breakdown.
Yeah, we just need one more. We just need to finish the darn thing.
We actually need 2 more.
Yeah.
I thought no.
Wild Rider and Motormaster.
Is he already scheduled?
No.
Did I just hallucinate Wild Rider?
You did.
Oh, that's so sad. I think I literally thought I had it in my basement because I'm just trying to be happier.
Right. There's only 3 of them so far. We know that Motormaster had trouble. He was slated to go to Walmart. They were like, we don't want something that big.
I know the problems they're having, and that kind of like makes you wonder, are they going to do any G2 repaints for these other combiners at this point after the mess that Minosaur's been? Devastator, I feel like, is the only one that might get a pass just because of the massive popularity of the
I think it would be easier to sell repaints of the combiners as sets rather than individuals. I kind of think that's where Minosaur has gone wrong. Because like if I could just get a G2 Minosaur, that's great. But if they even do Motormaster now, it's like, well, I got to go back 3 years and try and collect Shadow Strip and Dead End. And it's like, oh my gosh, those guys are expensive on the aftermarket.
I'm sorry, didn't they have a box set of Minosaur?
12 years ago, sure.
They did, and like the only real difference was like Breakdown came with a different head.
The toy Minosaur, yeah.
Right, so that sold out.
I was thinking some things while you were talking some words, and I was thinking, I wonder if the reason that drag strip became shadow strip is that they were going for characters. Like they were thinking about how the G2 guys are not like, unique characters, right? They're not really like unique fiction, they're not unique characters, they're not unique representations. And they thought maybe if they made them into new characters, they could do better with them. I'm trying to copium myself into thinking that we might get a Baldigus set to go with this guy because we're getting Car Robots characters. So
I think that's
Baldigus
that's
set because
nearly
they're different
guaranteed.
characters, right?
Yeah.
They're
With
different
the new
characters. It's
Bruticus
not
that's
just
coming
a
out, yeah. I think absolutely we'll get Ruination.
But I don't know. No other repaints so far. I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of a bummer about these, but they're big projects for them. Yeah. Okay. Superion.
So I don't have him built yet, but I would say like Superion does continue the trend of just like feeling like a sturdy, I mean, he's missing, 40% of them right here. Not really, but I don't have like 2 of the limbs on him, and he just feels like a sturdy bot. Yeah, there you go. So, I mean,
good to go.
One of the things that I think is really interesting with these, and there's been a lot of debate in the Transformers community for years over the idea of, well they should be able to engineer all of it so you don't need the extra like chunks and pieces. And Menasor, Devastator, Superion all come with that extra like chunk that's not part of that basically is the lower torso and upper legs. And in terms of creating the stability, I'm like that's a huge benefit that this core is so darn stable, and that's where the hips are. That's where so much of that mass is centered and that weight is centered, and it just works so nicely to make this a very fun toy to just hold in your hand.
My flaw with this guy is something that do you have either of the legs on right now?
Yeah, I got Air Raid.
You get the one. Okay. I couldn't tell if you had either of them. The legs, just like, from the first time we saw pictures of how the legs attached until now, I think they should have integrated the legs a little bit deeper. Like everything we've been saying about all the stability, they actually do pop off relatively easily. Like, not like they're going to pop off all the time, like just from me holding it, but they don't go on as well because they don't actually go inside of it at all. They just tab onto the end of it. If they actually went inside just a little bit, if they had engineered it where like the arms folded in and went inside of the legs and then tabbed in, that would just add more stability. It would make it look better and just be a big improvement.
I agree with that. I don't have the stability issues with mine, but aesthetically, I agree with that. I actually had to look at the instructions a couple times. Like, did I miss a step? Are the arms supposed to go in more so that the whole body goes inside the Superion leg better? And it's like, nope, that's how it is.
Like I said, I'm not saying I'm having a stability issue. I'm saying that they're not on there as tight as the other combiner stuff. Like, these arms aren't going to go anywhere. Even, the freaking Vortex that I have on there that doesn't technically go, he's not going anywhere the way that he tabs in. These legs can be pulled off really easy. Plus, they serve zero purpose, right?
Yeah.
Like, literally getting a leg filler block would do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's something I'm curious about because I recently got a hold of, and I didn't bring it upstairs because there's reasons, but I recently got a hold of MPG9 Genrai, and someone has made an upgrade kit for the Genrai that replaces the cab with a simple, hollow plastic transforming cab that just is, truck mode, balls up into a ball, goes inside, and fits really well into the combiner bits, because one of the problems with MPG9 Genrai is that it doesn't actually fit together super well. Like, there's a lot of fiddliness to it that there really shouldn't be for an MP figure. So I wonder if somebody will make a version of an upgrade kit that will literally just be little plain blocks to plug in here that will plug in just a little bit better to be more aesthetically pleasing. Because I don't think you need to do anything to the arms. I think you can leave the arms alone. I think they're fine the way they are. Obviously, you know, some people might say Vortex doesn't go on Superion, but I don't care because it looks cool like this. And that means I get to have a full. Right. Plus, it could be Alpha Bravo in the future. But I think that would help a lot for me. Like, there's also a kit, I believe they call it like the Devastator Freedom Kit, something like that, that replaces some of the Devastator bits, some of the characters. I can't remember who it is, where you can just free those characters out and have like little hollow vehicle bits to replace it and finish your combiner. Like, those type of kits are weird because it's like you get your characters back, but then your combiner's kind of fake. But at the same time, I think for Superion, it could help a lot.
Yeah.
I think it could really help just make them look better than they do right now. Because I get it. Like, I know they looked at the animation models and they said, well, you know what? I guess this is the way it went together in the show. And they're not wrong. But
yeah,
it's
but
just
those
not
animators
a
were like
thing.
at the time.
That's something I've said many times, is like complete animation accuracy is a little bit of an error considering how old the show is, how messy a lot of the animation frames were, and all that good stuff, right? Like, maybe sometimes we don't actually want 100% animation accuracy. I think this is one of those times. Like, I am loving this thing. Like, this thing feels great, it looks great, it's heavy, but it works. It feels like a really big toy, kind of like you guys were saying about Devastator, where it moves well, it poses well, feels like one toy together. Again, with the wrong arm, it still feels that stable and good. I feel like I can pose it, I can play with it for the first time with the Superion. That's really cool. But I just feel like the legs they were kind of a mistake. Like, they kind of just did them in a way that was a little too animation accurate. And they should have done something just to make him integrate a little bit better. Plus, I also have the problem where my leg door panels, like, I'm not quite sure what the trick is to get them to go all the way forward, or if there really is a trick other than taking like a pin in there and like pulling them up a little bit. But I don't know, kind of a weird little mechanism. I know Minotaur mostly shares it, but anywho, I like it. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say for me, the only area of instability I really find with him are his antenna. Those things tend to pop off pretty darn easily on my guy.
Weird.
Yeah.
I'm kind of plugging my ears and saying la 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 when I think about how much this set costs together.
Oh,
because like combiners are pretty expensive these days.
Yeah.
I mean, they've kind of been Combiner Wars and now the price of a Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny when you think about it, like how much more of a thing Devastator feels like it is, being a 6-character one and being different sizes and everything. But really the markup from one of the 5-character standard combiners to Devastator is not that much as far as money. Especially since they're doing Voyagers for the Bruticus legs, right? And it's really not going to be much more markup. It's just one more character.
Yeah.
Is Spindle a Voyager? I can't remember.
I believe both are supposed to be Voyagers.
Okay.
I can do something. Leg engineering meant Voyager. That's all we've been told. Whatever that means.
Fine. I mean, we've seen it work twice so far. Or no, once. Sorry, my bad. Well, Devastator does that. Yay.
I'm really curious if Bruticus will be more like Devastator, where the legs will attach rather than, sorry, when I say attach like Devastator rather than like Minosaurus.
If it means they don't do this, that'll be so much better. I know that this caused the figure to be more stable because the entire knees and hips and everything, like, it's just one toy by itself, and that makes it so much more stable. But this just doesn't actually look good.
Yeah, but I mean, they do
and it would look really bad for Bruticus.
They do it with Devastator. Like, you can pretty much do it where it's just the knees down or whatever. Like, so.
Yeah, it's all
I would
they
really
need
like
to
to
do.
see what a Devastator / skeleton hybrid could do for Raiden.
Ooh,
That would be
that'd
cool.
be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I think
with Raiden,
if you skeleton the legs and put the train in them like Anna, they make your blocks essentially because they're just trains. Is what they look like. And then you have like a core piece for Kayan that will make him stable rather than floppy like the MPG one is. I think you end up with a really good combiner.
and that'd be so easy for that set because all you have to do with the train is make the big cargo crate boxes, make a couple of those. Yeah.
At the pace,
that's all you have to do. They don't need to be
DNA
robots.
design.
Sorry.
The DNA design kit is kind of doing that. He's replacing the mid torso bot there.
Yep, but you still have
that
to
doesn't
have
transform at all, though, right? That's just a chunk.
It's a chunk.
Yeah.
You still have to buy the 6 not very good figures to make that happen.
Guess who owns them?
Hey, the next 2 of the Legends set are going to be out soon. So within the next year, I should have a complete Raiden and Legend skill. And I'm going to be happy because it's going to be better than the freaking Takara one. That's not hard. That's not hard. That one is rough. It's a really rough set.
If they did a new rail racer, do you think they should do a essentially like torso component for rail racer like they've been doing with these 3?
No,
I think Rail Racer is unique enough that it has to do it.
Okay,
I think Rail Racer. No, I think that modern joints would actually fix all the problems Rail Racer had. I don't think it really needs a whole lot more.
For that matter, Magnaboss and Tripredicus too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we already saw a 3-part combiner that worked, right? Magmatron is a 3-part combiner.
Yeah.
He is great, right? Like
Yeah.
he's stable, he's nice, he's everything the original was, but better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think if you do that same thing to Rail Racer, you end up with a really amazing figure. Because we like Rail Racer. Rail Racer is a good figure already, but you tune them up and you do the stability thing that they do to the combiners that Anna brought up at the beginning of the show. Yeah, Rail Racer is amazing.
Yeah, Rail Racer.
I think you probably need to do
this one was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where it pretty much looks exactly the same, but it's stable like this is now. I would be so on board for that. I would happily. I wouldn't replace mine because mine is like a part of my life.
Right.
Like I always keep mine,
but
I would definitely replace it on the shelf.
Yes, you could put them with your modern stuff, and they'd all play together.
Yeah, it would look good. I would really like that. What was I about to say with the? Oh, I would dare say that Magmatron was a better update than this, though. I think it is. I mean, this is a really good update, but I think that did more to improve than this did.
Can I hot take that back at you?
Yes.
I think Superfire Convoy is a better update than Magnaboss, but that Godfire Convoy is not as good as Magnaboss.
Are we
Magnaboss or Magmatron?
Magmatron.
Oh, Magmatron. Sorry. Yeah.
I hate correcting people, so I'm trying not to. Thank you, Phil.
I can't be wrong.
I think that I want to agree with you very strongly. However, I think that normal Fire Convoy in this set is actually kind of bad. I think he actually borders on being bad. He doesn't look good anymore. The original actually looks cooler than the new one does. But the super mode, Super Fire Convoy, looks better. Like it's better, it's a great update, it's beautiful. But regular Fire Convoy, ooh. God Magnus looks a lot better, works a lot better. Head's worse. But other than that, good stuff. That regular Fire Convoy, like he is ugly. They just messed up that chest.
Yeah.
I think the chest is the way it is so it can combine better. Like I think it actually helps with the God mode.
It's like the pictures that we're seeing of Big Convoy. It does not look like an improvement.
No, it doesn't actually. I was trying to pump myself because my husband really likes Big Convoy, so I was like, look at all these pictures, and he was like, he should be bigger. He's not big enough. And as we were
No.
looking through the pictures, and he was making that complaint, I just kept thinking to myself, I actually don't think it looks better. Oh, that's no good.
No.
I don't think it actually looks better.
No.
It's not
he
going to
does
be a
Does it take?
transformer anymore.
that I like, which is that he brings the aesthetic into the legacy aesthetic where they all play together, and that's important to me. That's really important to me. It ended up being way more important than I ever thought it would be.
I think that has probably been like, there's been a couple of things over the years that have put strain on our toy friendship. And I think that has been one of the biggest, because every time I hear you say that, I'm just like, why are you happy that they're taking all the character out of these Transformers designs? Because it's like this
the
they
animated
sucked the anime right out of Magnus's face, right? They sucked the anime out of him. That's so sad, because the coolest thing about the series was that it was an anime.
The animated updates have been hard for me. Like, I don't really like that Optimus that much. I do like Prowl. I like Prowl a lot, but Optimus and B, not as much as I wanted to. I like Wasp.
I don't like
B.
I don't know why I like those. I don't like the Prime updates.
That's fine. You're allowed to like stuff. It's just
I know.
I think if you take animated out of animated, you end up with nothing.
Yeah.
And I think if you take the anime out of car robots, you end up with nothing. So I think that's the reason I'm kind of disappointed in that. Like, I think the anime style of car robots matters to me as much as the animated style of animated matters to most fans. Like, people just love that look. You know, it's unique, it's one of a kind, it's really cool, it's very timely of the time. I agree with that, but it just isn't like, it doesn't excite me as much as late 90s, early 2000s anime. Like, that's like that is my animation style of choice. But I also think the Prime guys have been aesthetically a bit of a downgrade. Like, they're less frustrating toys, because the Prime toys were good but frustrating at times.
Right.
But I do think aesthetically it's been a downgrade still.
Are better.
The what are?
The Seeker twins. Dreadwing and Skyquake.
I disagree. I don't think they're better.
I'm still waiting for my
time. I don't think they're better
three.
Either. My only reason that I might think that they're better is just because of the amount of like rubberized stuff on the originals meant that mine broke. So and that kind of made me sad. But yeah, otherwise I don't think it's better. No. I think it's worse.
I really hope that, Zach in the chat asked if we think Takara will do a big convoy. I certainly hope so. That's what I'm going to wait for, to be honest.
I bet they will. I think I had not thought of that. Thank you in the chat, and thank you, Phil, for this, because I think you're probably both right. I should just completely skip this big convoy and wait for Takara to fix it.
There you go.
Because they will probably take it and they will probably put the anime back in it. No, they'll do like they did for Lio.
Oh.
They'll take it and they'll just, because all they did for Lio Convoy is they took it, they took the figure that Hasbro made, they put the anime back in it with a syringe, and then they put it back in. And it costs more now. It's like $20 more, but the anime's back in it, so I'm happy. And compared to the new Voyager price, it's only like an $8.
Now does that include the tariff, or is that
the price according to what I paid for it is it's fine. But anyway, yeah, no, that's a great. I am so glad for that argument. I feel so much better about Big Convoy now, because I bet Takara will go and fix it. So I'm excited, because they didn't need to fix Megatron, because I don't think they messed him up. I don't think they took the character out of him. the way they do for a lot of things. But I'm afraid Big Convoy he might have the character step down because Lio sure did. Good golly, that face. How can you kill a cat that hard? That is so horrible. It's a crime against cartoon cats. We're kind of off topic, but we're not because we're talking about updates. And I think that's kind of the trick with the two combiners we've been talking about tonight is they're not really updates, they're just new toys of the old designs. Didn't really try to update and make Devastator modern, just try to make Devastator today.
I mean, I would argue
certainly didn't try to update this because they did the dumb legs.
Right.
Man, I haven't heard it put that way, actually, but yeah, that's what I want. That's a really good way to put it. Don't update them, just make them today.
Right. I mean, I would argue, I mean, they're much closer to the G1 toys and...
The G1 toys, yeah.
Yeah. They're just bigger, better versions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was shocked transforming Devastator of how much similarities it did have to the Combiner Wars. In terms of some of the engineering with some of the different parts, but I mean, again, the Combiner Wars I didn't think was terrible, so I don't think you needed to do a ton to make it better, and they did.
Takara started it, right, when the Unite Warriors did, and they started fixing the bots. I think this just went and took those original designs and did the rest of the fixing.
Yeah.
Which is great. The proportions are better, too.
I think this one and the Combiners Wars ones have the same ingredients, but they are in different proportions and they end up with different end results. Like you can end up with a crepe, or you can end up with a waffle, or you can end up with a pancake. Like it's a different way to do things.
But I would say there's extra ingredients in this because you have that seventh component for this Devastator, the non-transforming core, hips, and torso.
Right.
I think Transformers toys have just straight up gotten better since the last versions of these characters. Like, they are better now. And since they can be better, the Devastator is just a much more stable, good product.
And to me, the thing that excites me is this is my favorite of the Scramble City limbs that we've gotten so far. You know, so Vortex here, this is a nice... you know, if the rest of Bruticus is as good as Vortex, that's going to be a really nice combiner as well.
He's a good arm too.
Yeah.
I know I keep saying it, but I really am serious. Alpha Bravo, please. Like, truly, please. Please.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Alpha Bravo should be him, or I guess it should be him.
Should be him, yeah.
And not Blades. Because this is more of like a traditional military helicopter and that goes with fighter jets. So yeah, I'll go with Alpha Bravo being him. That's fine. Hey,
you know what? If they decide to do Victorion, now they can do two different helicopters instead of...
I know, two different helicopters, two different cars, two different motorcycles. Let's just keep going. Let's add a new character.
Yep, so I guess we know Bruticus is next. Do we think Defensor is after that?
I would assume so.
That one needs it most.
So, yeah.
My hot take is that I want Abominus after that. I mean, I love Computron. It's my favorite combiner. But I think Abominus needs the update more.
Needs it more?
Mm-hmm.
No, Abominus.
You guys know I like both of those Computrons from Combiner Wars and Unite Warriors. So
yeah, but Abominus got like brand new molds for his, you know,
and they are not good.
Some are better than others. They're not terrible.
See, I've always argued that Combiner Wars was just torsos. Like that was the whole thing. And I think Hunger was good enough that Abominus is actually pretty good.
Hunger is good enough because he's Silverbolt.
No, he's Silver Dinosaur Bolt. Dragon, monster.
Like, I know we joke that everything is Silverbolt for a while, but Hunger is Silverbolt.
Silverbolt, but he's kind of an improved Silverbolt. Where I think that Scattershot was not an improved Silverbolt. I think he was kind of a like unimproved Silverbolt, like a worse one somehow.
Yeah.
So it's really just which direction you went from the Silverbolt base. Did you go up or down?
Now, I'm not saying that they should be Silverbolt based now, but
right.
Oh God, no! Oh God,
please
no!
no.
Well, I mean,
Gosh, what is?
And maybe you could get pieces of scatter shot out of it. I don't know. Maybe.
What's the caboose for Abominus, Christian? Because they made a caboose they made like a weird thing to put on the butt of an airplane for Superion. So what do you put on Abominus?
I think you just make Hunger bigger. Like he ate more and he became larger.
Okay.
He just gets an extra large ass.
That's what I was thinking. Like, it's like a butt extension or like a really long tail that turns into a body. He could
actually get a tail for once, because that is one thing with Hunger. Is
there you go.
Always had like a stump of a tail.
Yeah, he doesn't have a tail. Give him a tail. That'll be fun.
A nice long tail that comes and makes the body thicker when it all clicks together. Sure.
Yeah. I think the answer is tail.
Tail. Great.
There you go.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because the G1 tail is just like, look at me, I got a little tail.
Okay, this is a reference no one's gonna get. What if they did like the Lucky Cat Megazord? Okay, you guys are really familiar with the Lucky Cat Megazord, right? Okay. Well, the Lucky Cat Megazord did the same thing that the Flame Toys Megazord does. It's fire for Flame Toys. But they made the Bird Zord into a big winged monster, right? So what if they made a big winged extension for Hunger to be the rest of it? Like a thing you could clip on its back where he goes from just being a two-headed monster to being kind of this like Ghidra thing. With big wings. Okay. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, maybe he can even stand up and be a slightly different monster. I'm liking this. Let's get creative. Listen to our show, Mark.
He did stand on his hind legs in one of the cartoon episodes he was in.
There you go. They'd be like, oh, it's just like that one time, and then for some reason wings.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think the only other way you could do it is to make the chunks into other dudes, like the Fire Cons or something.
Yeah. You could do like King too. Toys did with their Predaking, where they made they actually made the feet into people, people. Not to be confused with people who like feet, but people who are feet. You could do that. You could
like you
more
just
people.
Put Flamefeather and Sparkstalker and Cindersore in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or just entirely new things or whatever.
Yeah.
New animals, worm monsters, whatever. I guess like the thing to take away from that is that we're pretty flexible. Like what you can do with it, just do something creative and fun.
Yeah, I'm okay with the extension on the Concorde. It's weird, but it works. I'm really okay with Long Haul's trailer.
It especially works as the like gun encampment. You can turn it into the little base mode. Actually, like I like that more than I like the thing that plugs into the jet. The thing that plugs into the jet is so funny that I enjoy it. Again, it feels like a boss you would fight in Gradius or something.
Yeah. It's not like my favorite thing in the world, but then you take it apart and it looks great. So
yeah, it looks great.
It looks like Silverbolt, and you just take the chunk off and put it away until you combine it. It's fine. And Long Haul trailer,
don't have to worry about that.
Really good. Motormaster trailer, of course, makes sense. So like, there's we're flexible with this stuff.
Yeah, Onslaught's going to be easy because it'll just be a longer trailer, and even Hotspot would be easy because you can just put an extension on a fire truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So I think the Hunger answer is tail or wing or both.
So yeah, combiners. I don't know. We're feeling good about them. I think years into new combiners now, we seem to be pretty optimistic about it.
Yeah.
I remember being very tentative when they decided to do combiners again, because it was like, will they somehow be worse than Combiner Wars? They're not.
Well, they're spreading them out enough that it's not like we're gonna get fatigued with it, right? Like I almost wish that they would do them quicker than what they are now. So it's not bad.
I mean, I think Superion and Devastator came out. Well, are you saying like to make the whole thing, or how frequently or infrequently they're actually doing a new combiner?
The second one. how frequently they're doing new ones. So like, to get my, Abominus or whatever, Computron, right? Like, is it going to be like another 5 years?
Yeah, I mean they've definitely picked up the pace though, because we got Superion and Devastator this year, and at least one limb for Bruticus.
That's true. And it may have been one of those things. Like, it may be one of those things too, where that they originally weren't sure about them, and then after the success of Minosaur, they're like, okay, yes, like, people want it again, because they may have been wondering too if like people were gonna buy new combiners. So
I was surprised they finished these two at the same time like this. Like, I did not expect them to get finished at the same time. And it's just like, yeah, well, they're done.
Studio Series and Age of the Prime, so they're doing them technically in two different lines.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah, I think if someone managed to get another 2 next year, even if one of them's a repaint, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
Or 3 if one of them's a repaint. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know who else they put in Studio Series, but we'll see.
So, all right. Well, on that note, I know we've been going for a while. Probably call it a night.
I think we should wrap things up.
Yep.
Good work, everyone.
So, well, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to everyone in the chat that has participated. And I guess we will, hopefully, I don't know if we'll do next week, but if not, probably the week after. So, but thanks, everyone. See ya.
Bye, everybody.